you're so personally wrapped up in this now. Just tell us this morning, how's Barbara doing?
I think it's pretty much like I've been saying recently, you know, there are horrible moments of confusion which are really, they can be quite constant. Heartbreaking to watch, absolutely heartbreaking to watch. And one of the things I've noticed personally in our case is the evenings are always worse for us, so it gets much worse.
How is she with you now? Does she know who you are?
She does, Richard, yes. I've kind of become quite a focal point for her now in the confused moments.
I experienced it with my own mother who had dementia, and from the last few months of her life she called me by her kid brother's name, but in the last few weeks I was back to Richard again.
Yes.
Do you find that you get these sunnier days, as it were, in terms of her memory? Yes.
You do, and I think that's when it gets confusing, I think,
bet,
because you're having sometimes a normal conversation and we're sitting watching TV and she'll be saying something and I'll be laughing. And it totally goes out of your mind that something's wrong. But then you'll get a harsh reminder when...
When did you first notice that things weren't right?
That was most likely around just before she left EastEnders, 2010. And that was when she was starting to have problems with her lines, and things like that. And I just noticed a change in Barbara anyway.
What, personality?
Personality-wise, yeah. There was a slight seriousness, a slight vacant look every now and then that just wasn't her. And, you know, I think that was the early signs of this creeping in.
Tanya, you have experience of this in your own family as well, don't you?
Yes, I do.
My
stepfather does. He has Alzheimer's.
And how progressed is that in him?
He was diagnosed in 2013.
Just the year before Barbara was diagnosed.
Yeah. And actually, I would say it's been a slower progression. However, you know, we are noticing changes and he notices changes, and he becomes frustrated with those changes, of course. He plays the piano beautifully, you know, beautifully. But there are days now where it frustrates him when he can't play it as beautifully as he did yesterday, or tomorrow. Tomorrow he may play it beautifully again.
He's interesting, so you say he's aware of the reason. He knows that he has dementia.
Yeah, we talk about it, and we've been open with it from the beginning, from when his diagnosis.
And does Barbara know still that she has dementia, or has she moved beyond?
Now she does. Now she talks about it, but I for the first few years she didn't want to talk about it, and I think that's also quite a common thing with people. It's like a self-preservation.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, who wants to face that?
Now, you're running on Sunday, and I hear the weather's going to be quite cool.
Yes.
So you're not going to have a heat stroke problems. You're running to raise awareness. Now, explain that to me, because it seems to me that actually we are very aware of Alzheimer's and dementia now in a way that we weren't 5 years ago. So what exactly are you hoping to achieve?
Well, I think that there's still, or there has been up until recently, I think, a stigma still with Alzheimer's and dementia, in that people don't really know how to handle it or how to deal with it or how to talk about it. And it's a condition that, you know, 850,000 people in this country are living with at the moment. So it's a common factor, and most of us will experience it in some fashion or another, so whether, you know, we have it in our family or that we will be dealing with it.
The leading cause of death. Now,
and also, apparently,
astonishing.
It used to be that the over 60s, the top of the list of things that they were frightened of as they move into old age was cancer. And that's now moved to second place. And the big thing that everybody over 60 is really worried about is developing dementia. It really is.
Absolutely.
What do you hope to achieve on Sunday? Apart from, obviously, finishing the...
I did the campaign because awareness was something that needed to happen, and in a different way. It's like you say, people were aware. So many people have said to me that they know so much more about it now. The feedback that I get very much so from other people who are carers living with their own loved ones is thank you for saying what it's like.
Yes.
People weren't really talking about the symptoms, about your loved one sitting in their own front room and saying to you, I'm sorry, what is this place? Where are we staying here? You know, it was those type of things, and friends saying, I've learned so much more about it. I'm not saying that's down to me. I'm talking about this incredible campaign that the Dementia Revolution has done.
I think a lot of it is down to you, actually. And I think people are incredibly grateful that you're able to talk so openly about it. It's so important. One of the things that gets you around the London Marathon, of course, is the huge amount of support. And, you know, there's just thousands of people willing you on, obviously, and they'll be clapping and cheering. Is Barbara going to be able to be there at the finishing line for you, Scott?
At the beginning, I was really hoping that, but after having a couple of meetings with various people, the logistics of it, I've had a really serious thing, and I think it's best that she's not there.
What, you mean she might find it a bit confusing?
I think it would get very overwhelming for her.
Everyone would want to give her a hug, wouldn't they?
Everyone would want to give her a hug. I mean, I won't be there with her if there's one of those confused moments, and I just feel it would be better for her own well-being if she's at home that day.
Does she retain a sense of identity in the sense that, does she know that she's a national treasure still? Is she aware of that? Does she remember EastEnders and
yes, she does. I mean, we sit and watch that every day. Sometimes she'll say to me, oh, no one will know me anymore because I haven't worked for ages and ages. And I say, no. I say, I think people will always know you. Don't worry. Don't worry. And you know, the things that I've spoken about when we go to a theatre, there's the most wonderful reaction as she walks in. And that's when she really feels at home.
Yeah. Well, I started with a statement of the obvious about her being a national treasure. I'll finish with the one, unashamedly. She's very lucky to have you. Very lucky indeed to have you. Good luck, both of you, on Sunday. And everybody take care.
Thank you.
And it's a big day for you Sunday. I mean, not just the marathon, Scott. It's your birthday, isn't it?
Exactly. Running with Barbara's revolutionaries.
30 at last.
Oh, Richard, you're very kind.
We always sound me.
And it is such an important cause because you are. It's not just awareness. You're raising money.
We're raising money, and we still need to hit our target. So please, and thank you to everyone who donated the last time we came on this show as well.
Yeah.
So thank you, each and every one of you.
It's the dementia revolution, isn't it?
Yeah,
so that's what we're taking on.